Hello and welcome. Today I will show you or talk about some of the game jams that I've entered in the past couple weeks. Um, so if you don't know what a game jam is basically where you make a game within a certain time frame. Uh, I decided to enter into a couple of these. Now didn't, I haven't entered into a game jam before, so this is a first for me. So I went on to itch.io, which is a popular platform for many indie developers. And I just checked game jams here, and I was looking, and I saw one that I thought might interest me, which was let me go to it. Which was this one right here. Couch Co-op Game Jam. Now, the reason why I wanted to do this one was because I've recently downloaded the Jackbox Party Pack 3, as well as Drawful 2, and those are some really fun and good party games that I have played, and they are pretty expensive because they're both by like the same developers of, I believe, Jackbox Inc. I don't know. I think it's just Jackbox. Um, and they're pretty expensive. And I was thinking, it's like, well, yeah, it is expensive because it's like they're good games. Plus, not many people really, you know, play or make any couch games like that. So I decided to enter into a couch co-op game jam because this would be a perfect opportunity for me to experience what it would be like making a couch game, because Tiltspot.tv is a game where web-based gaming platform. Um, so yeah, it's pretty interesting. I tested it out a bit and thought I would want to look into it. So I have joined this game jam, and before, whenever I said that I haven't joined a game jam before, and I was can't speak right now, and I was reluctant to. Well, this one lasts for, I believe, like 2 or 3 months, so I would be able to most likely make it on time. So I decided, yeah, sure, why not? So I have decided to make it. So if look into Unity here, I made Tilt Spot Jam 1. That was a bit complicated to set up and all of that due to, if you look at the developer thing here, you had to download the game tester, and to make the game tester run, you had to install Node.javascript or .js and npm, and then do all this stuff, which I didn't get, but I eventually got somehow. And so then I was able to get it all running. So let me actually open it up here real quick. Um, so yeah, it's a basic game and stuff like that. And if you see here, you can use Unity, which was good because I was familiar with Unity. But then it said you would need to use JavaScript for the controller if you were to make your own controller. And whenever I heard that, I thought it was like their own gaming engine thing, like Unity, that uses, like, in Unity, well, you may or may not know, but in Unity, you have game object, like you have the variable game object and you can do stuff with it, but that's only for Unity that it works. So I thought it'd be like a bunch of stuff like that, but this didn't have much documentation, so I didn't know what to expect. But then I realized that actually what is happening is I'm making a website. So that is actually what I've made, is a website. So and I had no familiarity with JavaScript and making like a website and stuff like that. So that did take a little while to do, but I actually learned how to do it quite fast because There's some things here and there that are a bit different, but I was eventually able to get it. So here it is right here. As you can see, just a bunch of that. I had to quickly add in side left and side right because I realized that you could make it to where you could you could resize the screen to be whatever you wanted. So yes, this is the game right here. So yeah, the game is actually no, I actually can't. I wonder if I could. Yeah, I could do that. So in order to have it run, I needed to. I think it was on the asset store, or no, not on the asset store, but it was. I had to download something for TiltSpot to work on here. So then I did that. There's a bunch of stuff there, and then I have this TiltSpot thing here, and then I also have the main script here with all the stuff on it. So yes, so if you saw on here, you can see that the theme is seasons. So I went to thinking about a game that I could do with seasons. I was thinking like maybe things where you have people going across the game board and everybody has a season. I don't know. They were all terrible ideas. And then I thought of this one where you are on this tree that constantly changes because trees grow, and you try and compete for spots, but the thing is you don't know when the or how many spaces the other person's gonna take, and whoever moves first is dependent on that. So I believe it has it. Yeah, turn order. Turn order you would have thought would be easy, but not this game. Turn order is determined by how many spaces you moved. So say I move 7 and then somebody else moves 5, they would move first and get a leaf that I may have wanted to get. So it would be some conflicting things, and that's the main thing that I wanted to focus on, and eventually some other things like acorns and things like that fell into place as well because I thought that would be a bit more interesting. So that is what I have done here. Uh, but in order for this to run, since it's going through a bunch of stuff, I have to go into TiltSpot here. And download Dangerous Float game because that was the winner from last year, and I thought, why not try it? So I have the tester here, and in order for me not to not know what I'm doing, I just have this here, so I can easily just copy and paste. But in the configure in here, if I edit with Notepad++, you can see right here, you had to put in some info here, like the path to game, path to controller, Unity port. So if you wanted to do it through Unity, actually I can just run it right now. If I get here, and I just copy this because you need to run it in a certain location, you need to do all this stuff. So if I just do this, then an error will occur. Okay, alright, I got it fixed. There was a slight change to some things. So now if I run this here, you can see that I have this all set up here. So what you can do, you can hit play with Unity and it goes into there, so then whenever I hit play on here, it would link up to this. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. It'll link up to this, making you be able to get on, let me do this real quick. Let me get onto here, and so then I have player 1, or I can get on my phone since I have connected it to my IP address, I believe. So all I would need to do is just go on my phone, type that in, and then bam, I am in. So let me not say play with Unity because I have built the game, so I don't have to do it through Unity anymore, and I can click Start Game, and Unity will run. and I will mute that for now since I don't have a anything to stop that. So let me quickly try and do some quick thinking here, and let me, bam, do this. Alright, so I have this all set up, and I will now be able to, you can't really see much of it here, let me just move this to the side so it'll have more. So this is the main host player right here. You can hit exit game, pause game, restart game. So yes, you can edit this, it makes sounds, it's all wonderful like that. And actually let me open up the how-to real quick, and you can barely see it, but you can go through basics, turn order, seasons, and stuff like that. So if it finished, it'll get out of that, and then I can go to play, which it already is, and hit select, then it'll start playing. Of course, this is boring with just one player. I would recommend having 2 players to play with. So yeah, you can see it's going into the next one, and here's a little bit of the music, as well as a bit of speed up sound. So yeah, I can actually do full screen here, and you can see it is sending information to the controller and the control back to the game. So yeah, it works just like that, which is pretty good. And yeah, the tree will grow. These leaves are worth 100 points. Acorns worth 250, and whenever it gets to summertime, you'll have other things attacking you and things like that. But yeah, if you have any questions about this game or how it runs or anything about it, or just interested in it, then let me know, and I may address some of the questions or explain it. So yeah, that is this game right here. And then, well, let me quickly just call myself something like that, and then I'll go on just to show you a bit more. You have power-ups there, you roll, you move, and then you get leave. So let me get this one right up here, and let me hit done, and you can see, hopefully, yep, 7 spaces moved by me. Right now, if you get a tie for 7 spaces, or just a tie in general, the player who the host has advantage, or the faster you sign in, you have more advantage. I actually got commented or liked by my crunching sound. Yeah, that sound right there. So yeah, and then you get that, and then it just repeats. Except it gets a bit more interesting as the seasons go on, because the theme is all about seasons. And as you can see, there's a counter there, and that's pretty much it. For that one, anyways. So I can go ahead and stop that going. So this game jam was pretty fun, and it was pretty interesting. So it actually stopped last Sunday, and they announced the winners today, and I was actually announced here as first right here with my Conquer the Tree game. Second being this game right here, which seems pretty interesting. So yeah, if you want, you can actually, I believe there's like a code that you can enter into like the tilt spot thing to like play it yourself. But eventually it'll be on TiltSpot without needing a redeem code. So yeah, there's like the code for that right there, code for the other ones, and overall I actually really enjoyed this game jam. But of course, during this game jam, I was suggested 2 other game jams, as I am subscribed to 2 other people, Brackies and The Lone Coder. So if I go into the dashboard here, Brackeys announced his game, and let me go over to it. It was actually made, or is actually hosted by several people here, not just Brackeys, and it was pretty interesting. It was just a bunch of people getting together. It wasn't anything specific like having phones as controllers and stuff like that. But the theme was the game is a liar. So and this one lasted for a week. So if I go into Unity, close this, don't save, and then open up the second one here, the game is a liar. I decided to think up of some things that I could do for this game jam. I thought up of a couple of things, but this one seemed the most interesting for me to do. Actually, you can still vote for it. Oh, for 19 hours, which won't be the time that I get time to show it. So yeah, as you can see right here, I believe I can mute audio. So I decided to make a game that's kind of like Simon Says, except you gotta listen to the game. Like, here, I'll show you real quick. Oh, that's unfortunate. Hopefully I didn't try and get that for the, hopefully I didn't turn it in with that error. Let me go to mine, because it seems like everybody else seemed it worked. So yeah. Anyways, I'll try and get to it. It's right over here. The how-to. This is a game called The Game Says, and the objective is simple. Listen to the game. Well, not that game. This game. So you have to listen to capital G-A-M-E, not capital G-A-M-E. Which was quite interesting. I believe I have. Oh no, that's in the script. But I have some confusing things that will pop up that you will have to guess which one to listen to, which one to not listen to. Then there's also bombs, coins, and timed bombs, which you have to hit. It was very frantic because I didn't know whether I wanted to do it or not whenever it released on Sunday. And so then I left it until Monday, and then Monday I I was just like, you know what, I'll do it. And I just got sick that Monday, so it took a little while for me to do it, and I barely got anything done until the Saturday that it was due, and I basically made this whole game in from the time that I woke up to like 2, I think, which was very frantic. And then after that, at like 3, I then hopped over to the Theater's Gateway here to do the 7th gate, because that was opening as well, and so then that day was pretty busy. So, let me just open this up here real quick, and I should be able to edit this with my new software that I made for video editing. So this is the object script. If I look into the main script here, you can see the game says, and it has a bunch of that. Of course, you only listen to this, this one here. All the rest of them are lying. Like, this one is hard to discern because that very closely looks like an A, and then that one's like a weird N thing. So yeah, there's all these colors, don't hit the next coin guy, and there's a bunch of stuff like that. So I rushed to get it all done on the day of, and then I submitted it, and it's not the best that I could make it, but it was good within the certain time frame that I made it. And by the way, for all of the music and sounds that I made for all the game jams, I probably did the day of. I think I did the music for Conquer the Tree a couple days before, or a weekend before, but then I didn't do anything with it. I was like, yeah, okay, I have the music, but I didn't like program it in or anything like that. So you may be wondering about the third game jam that I mentioned, which was the Lone Coder main jam thing, which is something that I did not get to enter into because that game jam lasted for a week as well, and it was the week that the this one was due. The Conquer the Tree one was due, so I was not able to make it for that one, if I can find it, which I probably won't. But yeah, Raid 51 jam. That's funny. Um, so yeah, that one. That was by the Lone Coder. If you haven't heard about him, you should look him up. But yeah, oh, here we go. OLC Code Jam, One Lone Coder, Code Jam. There was 65 entries, theme destruction, and I actually thought of a really cool thing that I could do, but I could not do under the time constraint, especially since I had to work on Conquer the Tree. So, I just wasn't able to do it, and I wasn't able to enter in anything, so that is unfortunate. There's a lot more submissions in here than I thought there was before. So yeah, um, most of the times I was rushing for both of them in the last second to submit it, which I will now know not to do, and to try and finish it the most I can the day prior, and then do little last minute things the day of, so then I'm not racing to finish things like the game says and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a brief thing of game jam history stuff. This one was very frantic. This one didn't even do, but this one that took 3 hours and was something that I actually wanted to do turned out really well. And I'm glad. If you want to try it out for yourself, either go here, download it, and then you would have to go and get the game tester and do all this stuff, which is pretty complicated. So I would instead recommend um, actually going onto tiltspot.tv and then entering in the code that I showed before, and you should be able to have the game. So yeah, that's just a brief little thing of game jams. I hope that wasn't too long or tedious for you. So yeah, that's all that I had to say, and good. Oh no, I can't stop it. And goodbye.